How can you say that you feel like a woman when you don't know what that feels like?
So I'm just gonna cut straight to the point here. You're a bully. You're a mean girl. And I've come across so many mean girls in my life that I could smell your kind 1,000 miles away. It's written all over your face. It's in your body language. It's the way that you ask the question, which is so condescending, by the way. I don't even think that you all are aware of when you're doing this because you're so good at it. You've been doing it for so long. But people like me, we can spot it instantly because we're used to being bullied by people like you. You didn't ask this question in good faith. You could care less what the answers are. This video was a signal for other mean girls to join you and sit in the background and eat popcorn and, point and laugh at transgender people because you're Regina George.
Hey beautiful people, and welcome back again to my YouTube channel. My name is Mariah Davis and I'm back again with another video. So I'm gonna play the first video to the end because this particular white lady was really dragged because she asked questions. She just asked questions and she was dragged. So I'm gonna play a video then so that we can be on the same page. Then I'll come back and talk about it.
How can you say that you feel like a woman when you don't know what that feels like? Why is gender everything but also nothing? And if gender and sex are completely different, then how is a sex change gender reaffirming surgery? And why are the gay community and the trans community all in one?
Simply the question she asked that got everyone all talking, and they were like, why should you ask kind of question? You're a bully. It got everyone talking on TikTok, especially trans community, and this is not a shade to trans community or transgender people, and this is not also a shade to the creator. This is just a commentary channel. So if you have answers to these questions, can you put it in the comment section while I play stitches from other people?
How can you say that you feel like a woman when you don't know what that feels like?
Why? Well, I know I'm not a trans woman, and I don't know about you, but I really can't imagine what gender dysphoria and body dysphoria like that would be like. I have body dysmorphia. I've been diagnosed since I was in 8th grade. I can't conceptualize how horrible it must be to be born in the wrong fucking body and to have no one believe you. Because I'm a person with empathy, and I see how much these people fucking struggle. These people that matter to me. And I don't know about you. You clearly don't have any trans people in your life, or you wouldn't be making videos like this. But it's not hard to try and empathize and realize that you don't know all lived experiences and that you can't understand. And that's okay. You don't have to. You just have to be a good enough person to listen and try. But you're not. So that's crazy.
How can you say that you feel like a woman when you don't know what that feels like?
This is one of those moments where I can just tell how many of you have been failed by the American education system and like how many of you have been the children that were left behind. I'm going to ask some questions, but I'm going to answer these. First of all, why are we treating womanhood as if it is a monolithic experience? Why do we do that? Why do we shrink and flatten women into having vaginas and ovaries? Why do you think that you know what it's like to be a woman in any other capacity except for the one in which you live? But anyways, because gender experience is subjective, everyone experiences it differently. As in, I have had my womanhood denied my literal entire life as someone born with XX chromosomes. People have been trying to masculinize me my entire life. That is very different than the experience of other women. All women experience womanhood differently. Every single one. And that includes trans women. They also experience womanhood differently. So it might not be what you think is womanhood, but it's womanhood for them. What my womanhood is different than womanhood for you. How is gender nothing but also everything? How is it everything but also nothing? It's almost as if our entire society is based on our gendering. And as if you have been taught from the fucking moment that you got out of the womb how to identify someone by their secondary sex characteristics. But when we say it's nothing, we mean it's not that fucking deep. It doesn't matter that much. And people say gender is nothing because secondary sex characteristics are based on what you look like. You can look at me and see woman. But when people pass well enough, you can look at them and also see women. Most trans people you cannot detect in public. I know that you think that you can, but you really can't. So it's like, obviously, it's nothing and everything at the same time. You know what that's called? It starts with an N. Nuance! Wow. Good job. Why is sex change affirming if sex and gender are not the same? It's almost as if we've been taught to associate gender and sex so closely that changing your sex means changing your gender. Even if theoretically we don't want to tie the two together, it's almost as if the world we exist in does not allow that to happen. Like, we can talk about theory and talk about gender as a performance, but also recognize the world that we live in. And definitely the stupidest one of the bunch. Why are gay and trans people like lumped together? It's because gay people and trans people have, number one, similar political goals. Number two, have similar political opposition. Number three, face hate crimes that are similar. And it's also because gay people are often treated as like failed women, failed men, and what are trans people treated as? Failed women, failed men, whatever that might mean. We have a lot of common ground, so we hang out together. We have a lot of solidarity. Like, that's not hard. I just feel like these are not questions that require any thought. These are questions that trans people get asked every single day of their lives and can answer for you, and you close your eyes and cover your ears and you say, no one's answering my question.
How can you say that you feel like a woman when you don't know what that feels like? Why?
It kind of behooves me that just because we don't share experiences doesn't mean that I'm not as much of a woman as you are. Sure, I have a little supple once in a while. It's what happens with women. My mom has a very similar build to my build, and she is 100% cis woman. And it's just kind of funny how, like, because I am trans, that makes me less of anything than what I am. I don't think that's how that works. Being trans isn't define me. Being a woman defines me. Being trans is the subcategory of being a woman. There's no simplified man or woman. There's always going to be in between. How do you explain intersex people? How do you explain two-spirit based in the indigenous community? How do you explain all the ancient civilizations that respected the people that did not conform to the two binary genders? Like, if you look at the history of it, we've been here forever, and we've always been equal until the past 500 years or so. And that's all because of the white Christians that happen to be male at birth, and throughout their life they ended up being pedophiles, they ended up being groomers, they ended up sexually abusing children and any woman or man. They had no boundaries. Yet we are the reckless ones. We are the ones that are not real women. We are the people that are dangerous to the community. I don't remember seeing an article about mass trans community sexually assaulting kids or anybody else for that matter. It's more reversed. I myself, throughout my life, have been sexually assaulted 3 times. That's not okay. And it's because of cis hetero white men that did it. Explain it.
Honestly, I had rewatched this video several times just because I was confused on whether or not it was actually real, whether or not, like, it was satire, because I think this video is quite ridiculous. The main reason I was confused on whether or not it was satire was because I was thinking, why would anyone make a video like this genuinely? Like, why would anyone make a video where they're asking these types of questions in the type of way they're asking? Like, what do they get out of it? Because here's how I look at it. I look at it as if that woman obviously does not want the actual answers to the question. If she wanted the actual answers, she'd probably just Google them, or actually, like, literally ask a trans person on the internet. Like, why would she not just do that? I mean, it's 2023. If you don't concern yourself with, like, current events and stuff, then that's a good reason, I guess, to not know those questions. But those are, like, the easiest questions you could have asked. Just Google them. Hell, like I said, just ask someone from the trans community. It is so obvious that they're not actually wanting an answer to these questions. They're just wanting to ask them in a, oh, but do you think of this? Why this when this? They want to ask those type of questions just to their audience. And then they want to claim plausible deniability by saying, I asked the question on the internet. Well, you're just asking it into an echo chamber of people who follow you, and the people who follow you share the same ideals as you. It's quite that simple. Nothing of value is actually being done when people make videos like that, when they go, I'm just asking, why does pee-pee poo-poo, pee-pee butt? If you just want to know the question, if you want to know, just look it up. Or you just be like, I'm talking to the trans community. Because when you're just posting it out, it's gonna end exactly like this, where a bunch of people in the comments are like, I'm confused too. Yeah, that's because you, along with the person who posted it, comes from a disingenuous viewpoint, and you don't actually want to learn. You just want to say you're confused because you want a reason to not like them. Like, these are, for 2023, these questions are very simple. Like, just look them up. At the end of the day, if you have a question, or if you have any type of criticism, please just Google before you post on the internet. It's quite easy.
How can you say that you feel like a woman when you don't know what that feels like?
Oh my gosh, conservative logic at its finest, which is stupidity. The answer to the question is this: a male can transition into a woman and say that they feel like a woman because we as a society has created societal norms of what we think encompasses being a woman. Society has already set the precedent. And if a man feels that way, he will say that I feel like a woman because precedent. Okay, then you go on to say, how can trans and the LGBTQIA society be of the same? Oh my gosh, logic again strikes, because people like you do not treat them as normal. You do not. If they are not cis, straight people, you ostracize them.
Alright, let me know what you all think down in the comment section concerning this video. So here is my take. These questions were asked, and it was difficult to get answers to these questions from the stitches. I really don't know why answers were not provided. If not, they were just like cancelling, and you're not supposed to ask that. You're not supposed to ask that. This is ridiculous. But can you guys just give us answers and let us know? People are confused about some questions and they just need to ask. Let me know, guys. Do you think she asked it in the wrong way or the right way? To be honest, I really don't know. I'd like to hear from you all down comment section. I want to hear your thoughts down comment section. Let me know what you all think about this down in the comment section. And thank you so much for sticking around to this point. I hope you enjoyed this one. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and all of that good stuff. And of course, I'm gonna see you all in my next video. Bye.